Marcus Reed learned early that storms don't pause for dreamers. At 25, he drove nights for Uber, rain streaking across his windshield while cryptocurrency charts glowed from his laptop between rides. He paid his way through school fare by fare, studying markets with relentless discipline. While others chased hype, Marcus studied patterns, risk management, and emotional control, carefully trading assets like Bitcoin. Losses humbled him, wins sharpened him, and patience became his greatest asset. Over time, his skill compounded. What began as small trades grew into consistent profit, and by 25,000, Marcus was earning over $300,000 a year, not through luck, but through focus, sacrifice, and unwavering belief in his future. But wealth was not the most valuable thing he gained during those years. He met Ava Thompson when she was a sophomore in college. Bright, determined, studying nursing, and raised by her single mother, Denise. Ava's father had visited occasionally when she was young, mostly on weekends, but the relationship had never been strong and eventually became distant. Despite that, Ava grew into a woman of grace and quiet resilience. Marcus admired her strength and her sincerity. Their relationship blossomed slowly and intentionally. Late-night conversations, shared dreams, prayers for the future, and promises built on trust. After she graduated, Marcus proposed beneath the city lights, and she said yes, through tears and laughter, believing their love story was only just beginning. They decided it was time for Ava to formally meet Marcus's parents, Robert, 50, and Elaine, 48. Marcus was proud, excited to blend the families and take the next step to a marriage. What he did not know was that years earlier, during a rough and fractured season in his parents' marriage, Robert had lived a secret double life. Long business trips had not always been business. Loneliness had turned into an affair. And the woman he had fallen into that hidden relationship with was Denise, Ava's mother. Robert had told Denise he was separated, but he wasn't. He split his time between two lives, convincing himself he could control the damage. Eventually, guilt drove him to end the affair abruptly, cutting ties without fully facing the consequences. On the day of the visit, Marcus and Ava stood on his parents' porch, filled with anticipation. Marcus rang the doorbell, and Elaine opened it warmly, greeting her son with a smile and welcoming Ava inside with kindness. They exchanged pleasantries, light laughter, and warm introductions. Elaine led them to the living room where they sat comfortably, unaware that the next few moments would change everything. The air felt normal, hopeful, even joyful, as they waited for Robert to join them. Then Robert entered the room. The moment his eyes landed on Ava, his face drained of color. Ava's breath caught in her throat as recognition struck her from old photographs she had once seen hidden among her mother's belongings. Silence swallowed the room. Marcus stood proudly at first, unaware of the storm forming. "Dad, this is Ava," he said confidently. Robert's hands trembled. Ava's eyes filled with tears. The room felt smaller, heavier. Marcus sensed something was terribly wrong. The truth began unraveling. Robert admitted he had an affair years ago, that he had lied to Denise about being separated, that he had maintained two lives at once. He confessed he ended the relationship abruptly. Ava's voice trembled as she whispered, "You're my father?" The words seemed to echo endlessly. Marcus stared at his father in disbelief. "So you're saying she's my sister?" he asked. Robert nodded slowly. In that instant, Marcus felt his world fracture, love turning into confusion, joy into betrayal. Ava fled the house in tears, unable to bear the weight of the revelation. Marcus stood frozen, anger and heartbreak colliding within him. He looked at Robert not as a protector, but as a stranger. Weeks passed in silence. Marcus buried himself in trading charts, trying to calculate his way out of emotional devastation. Ava stopped answering his calls, overwhelmed and heartbroken. Denise was furious that secrets buried for years had resurfaced so violently. Elaine tried to bring calm, urging everyone to sit and talk, but emotions were too raw. Before we go any further, if this story has you on the edge of your seat, if you're feeling the tension building, take a moment right now to like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Because what happens next changes everything. Determined not to let the family shatter completely, Elaine eventually arranged a meeting with everyone present: Marcus, Ava, Denise, and Robert. One by one, they spoke, Ava expressed betrayal and identity confusion. Marcus shared his anger and grief. Denise admitted she had chosen silence out of fear and pain. Bravo confessed weakness and shame, but struggled to fully defend his actions. The atmosphere was heavy with regret, years of hidden truth finally exposed to the light. Then Elaine revealed another secret, one she had carried for decades. During the same broken season in her marriage, she too had a brief relationship with their insurance agent, Daniel Harris. He had died in a tragic car accident just 1 week before Marcus was born. Robert was in shock, but had no choice but to remain cool. Elaine's voice remained calm as she explained that biologically, Robert was not Marcus's father. The room fell into stunned silence as the implications unfolded. Marcus and Ava were not biologically related. Shock slowly shifted into fragile hope. Therapy sessions followed. Difficult conversations replaced silence. Robert eventually took full responsibility for the damage caused by a double life and deception. Denise confronted her fears. Marcus wrestled with forgiveness and learned that carrying anger only deepened wounds. Ava chose healing over bitterness. 1 year later, under a golden sunset, Marcus and Ava stood together at their wedding, not because their story was perfect, but because it had survived truth. Marcus realized that while money built security, integrity built peace. And the greatest wealth he would ever possess was not measured in markets, but in honesty, forgiveness, and love strong enough to withstand the light.